choice but to defend themselves.
As you just saw and heard, an intense confrontation between 7 Toledo police officers and a man pointing a gun at them.
It's a story we first told you about 2 days ago. Jason Means shot and killed by officers. They shot him 22 times after his wife called police saying he was firing off a gun and suffering a mental breakdown. And today, police are showing us and telling us exactly what happened. Toledo police wrapping up a news conference just hours ago. Michael Stanlin was there and joins us with the new information. Michael?
Melissa, Means' own wife was on the roof of their house during the 911 call, saying her husband was having a psychotic episode in the moments before the shooting. Speaking to media this afternoon, TPD's interim chief Mike Trenley says while officers arrived at the scene, their first steps were to de-escalate the situation. In the body cam footage, as officers arrive on scene, Means can be heard firing one shot. It's unclear if it was at police or just in the air. As the officers get closer to him, they call out to Means by his first name, ask for him to put the gun down and put his hands up. Chief Trenley says they asked Means at least 25 times to put the weapon down, but he remained unresponsive throughout the whole video. He continues to pace back and forth next to Hill Avenue before turning around and then raising the shotgun towards officers. It's only then that they open fire, killing him. Chief Trenley says his officers practice responsible de-escalation techniques, but when threatened with lethal force, they have no choice but to engage.
No officer wants to have to shoot anybody. No one officer wants to have to use their gun. As you'll see, as we start looking at the ages and the years of service with our officers as we move through the next slides, a lot of officers with just barely a year on, a little more than a year on. So this is something that those officers will live with for the rest of their life.
All 7 officers involved in the shooting have been put on paid administrative leave, as is standard procedure in officer-involved shootings. And I spoke to Means' wife just hours ago, and she wants to make clear this was not a domestic violence situation, calling Means a good father and a good husband, but rather an ugly end for someone struggling with mental illness. Reporting in studio, I'm Michael Stanlin, WTOL 11.
And this is a story we will continue to follow. If you missed any of today's news conference and would like to watch it from start to finish, we have posted a link on our website, WTOL.com.
Time now to get a check of your weekend forecast. Meteorologist John Birchfield joins us tonight. John, today sure felt like winter, but what about any snow for those Friday night plans?
Hey, Melissa, we've got a quick moving burst of snow that'll impact that evening commute. Right now, there is a band of snow right along the I-75 corridor pushing into the Toledo Metro just after 5 p.m. as Lucas County lit up blue on Doppler radar with that snow moving on through, including some snow in downtown Toledo. This stretches from Monroe over towards Lenawee County to the south of the river into northern Wood County as well. On the back edge, there's a few more snow showers in northern Indiana that are about to cross the state line and push into the Buckeye State. The bigger picture, it's not going to last very long. The back edge of this snow is already going to be cleared within the next few hours, and by about 8 to 9 p.m., we will say goodbye to the snow. I'll let you know what the rest of the weekend has in store and preview our next storm system in your full forecast.
John, thanks. An update to a story we've been following since last month. One of the people charged in the deaths of 2 Toledo teens pleaded not guilty in court today. Our cameras were rolling as Don Eames entered a Lucas County courtroom this morning. He is charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of kidnapping. 16-year-old Kamarion Wilder and 15-year-old Kashawn Pittman were found dead in a burned-down vacant house last month. A judge set his bond at $2.5 million. He'll be back in court February 17th. And he's just one of 10 people charged in the deaths of the 2 teens. A pretrial hearing was scheduled for Cruz Garcia, Carissa Eames, and Corbin Gingrich this morning, but that ended up being pushed to February 17th. Garcia is charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder. Eames and Gingrich are charged with murder. All other suspects, including 2 teens, are facing kidnapping and murder charges in the case.
A bond has been set for a man facing murder charges in a 2021 shooting. 26-year-old Titus Crittenden. He is accused of shooting and killing Everett White in South Toledo back in December of that year. A judge set his bond at $1 million yesterday. His arraignment was rescheduled for February 15th so that he can hire a lawyer. 2 others, Devin Ferguson and Taiwan Griffin, they are also charged with murder. They will be back in court in September. A Tennessee man is now behind bars in Tiffin, charged with multiple child sex-related charges. This man, 29-year-old Brandon Joseph Seaman, is from Church Hill, Tennessee. Over the last year, the Tiffin police and law enforcement in Tennessee have been working together to catch him. A Tiffin police detective recently posed as a child online. Seaman sent the detective inappropriate emails and nude photos of himself to the detective without realizing who he really was. The detective has been working on this investigation since April of last year. Well, right now, police are still looking for the person who shot and killed 16-year-old Anthony Krug Overton Wednesday night. The coroner's report shows that he was shot multiple times at a home on Downing Avenue in West Toledo. He is the fourth teen to die within 2 months here in Toledo. If you have any information that can help locate the shooter, call or text the Crime Stoppers hotline.
Lucas County commissioners have a new face, someone who tells us she's committed to getting a new jail approved and built. On this Sunday's Leading Edge, Tim Miller talks to Lisa Sobecki, who just joined the board earlier this month. Sobecki says discussions on a new jail, which have gone on for years, are not stuck in the mud. She says she's hoping for some kind of announcement in the near future.
I've said we're going to get this thing done this year, even if I have to go out there and make the bricks myself and start laying the bricks. It might look like a leaning tower of Pisa by the time I would be done with it. But we desperately need to have this jail. And the longer that we wait, the price tag continues to go up.
Sobecki says no location has been chosen, but the new jail will be built downtown where voters want it. More on her plans on Leading Edge Sunday morning at 8:30 on WTOL 11. A warning tonight for people who live in Lucas County. Another phone scam is making its way around. County officials say an unidentified person or group is calling, demanding money on behalf of the Lucas County Clerk of Courts or threatening arrest. The Clerk of Courts wants to remind you all correspondence regarding case information will be delivered by mail, never over the phone. If you receive a call like this, hang up immediately.
Well, the last week of January is Passenger Safety Awareness Week. This includes not only the safety of children in the car, but teens and adults as well. The focus is making sure when in the vehicle, all occupants are properly harnessed. A common misconception is, although the back seat is one of the safer places to ride, it does not mean that you don't need a seatbelt.
If the driver is belted, 92 to 95% of the time, those children are going to be also using their seatbelts as well and properly harnessed. Those are going to be those really good habits that you're teaching and you bring throughout your teenage driving careers and your adult lifetime.
To find out more about how you and your passengers can be safer in a vehicle, visit our website.
Looking for a career in law enforcement? Well, the Ohio State Highway Patrol is hiring. So what does it take to wear the uniform? It's an academy that is full-time and you will get paid. When you graduate from the academy, you'll earn just over $62,000 a year. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says it's looking for people from all walks of life.
In recent history, we've changed our max age to being age 40. So you have to enter the academy by age 40. Which is huge. Also, we've changed our tattoo acceptance policy to allow the wearing of a long sleeve uniform all year round. So this allows us to recruit from a diverse workforce.
The Ohio State Highway Patrol will also give a $5,000 sign-on bonus to anyone who graduates from the academy. If you're interested in applying, head over to the patrol's website.
Well, many of us took career assessment tests in high school. Maybe we did so in college. But what about people who never graduated or adults who need to find a better career fit? John Monk has the details on a new program to help just that in Hancock County.
The group Raise the Bar Hancock County works to connect people with employment. But last year they realized to better serve the 18 to 45-year-olds they work with, they needed to get a better idea of the individual all around, much like a career aptitude test performed at the high school level.
As we go forth with new career options and just the ever-changing employment environment, it never hurts to have someone assessed and to really hone in on what their strengths are.
So with seed money from a grant from the AT&T Foundation, they have launched a new adult workforce program. Those who sign up will go through 3 online assessments and then an in-person consultation, free of charge to the individual with a referral from a support group or social worker. The goal is to find a balance between work, personal values and personal interests.
And that's a lot of the fun part of it too when we get to the results portion. We had someone a few weeks ago who took it, realized outdoor was an interest, and hadn't even thought about things that you could do out of doors.
Once a new career field is identified, the participants will go through virtual job shadowing to see if a local company meets that criteria. And Raise the Bar will also connect them with classes or trade training to make sure they are also the right fit for this job.
Once we get to know what an individual needs, we can direct them to the trainings that they might need to participate in to get the certifications or the next level of education to move into a career that fits them.
Now, the funding for the first year of this adult workforce program here in Hancock County has room for 50 individuals. And if you're interested, you can sign up online at the Raise the Bar Hancock County's website. Reporting from Findlay, I'm John Monk, WTOL 11.
More people in Toledo need help with things like food and clothing, and Catholic Charities wants to help. There are 13 charities involved, including Helping Hands. They've seen double the amount of people in need of clothing and cooked meals with inflation and the winter weather being factors. Catholic Charities tells us it's always accepting donations and volunteers who want to help.
The people we serve are just always so appreciative. And it's just amazing, even though they're having difficult times, even though they're, struggling, they are always so happy and thankful that we're able to help them.
It's taking donations on its website, where there is also a page to volunteer to help those in need during the winter months.
After experiencing widespread flu activity for most of the last 2 months, the Buckeye State is now at the minimal level. That is according to the latest data released by the state this morning. In early December, 10% of all doctors' visits were flu-related. That number is now 2.4%. In late November, Ohio was reporting more than 1,400 flu-related hospitalizations per week. Last week, there were 161.
It's been stacking pancakes for over 60 years, but now it may come to a close. Uncle John's Pancake House is considering a proposal to sell its spot. It would be for the expansion of the car wash next door. Trent Croce talked to customers today who really hope the tradition doesn't come to an end.
The Westgate area of West Toledo has changed substantially over the years with food, shopping, and business. However, one thing that's remained on the strip for 60 years, Uncle John's Pancake House.
Food, anybody literally can come eat here, and I think that's very, very important for a community. Absolutely. Somewhere that everybody can afford to eat and have a good meal and great service.
But those doors, which have welcomed the community for decades, may close for good. The restaurant's debating whether to sell their spot to the Texas-based car wash company next door after they say an offer was made to them over a year ago. It has families like the Sages saying they hope it won't happen.
It's really sad. We actually just relocated here from Chicago about a year ago, and this has been our favorite spot since we came.
Every weekend.
If the deal does go through, the car wash plans to install outdoor vacuums in the area for customers. Diners like Robert Rose say if they do decide to sell the spot, he hopes the restaurant's tradition in the city remains.
That's something for these guys to work out. It all comes down to dollars, but hopefully, like I said, if they decide to sell the property, they can find a different location to keep it going.
The restaurant says it's meeting with employees this weekend to discuss plans moving forward. So for now, all the public can do is to continue to enjoy the food for as long as they can.
It's been here, God, I can't remember, ever since I can remember, so just kind of like a pastime thing for me.
I'm going to go every Sunday morning.
And where are we going to get those potatoes?
Right?
Pancakes.
Right?
Reporting in West Toledo, Trent Croce, WTOL 11.
Well, Mother Nature serving up some snow this evening. It's going to be a quick-moving burst of snow with a clipper system. It's also going to be very breezy with some 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And if you live out in the country, some of those rural roads could have a bit of blowing snow as this band of snow showers rolls on through. A live look outside shows you that band of snow pushing towards the Toledo Metro and right along the I-75 corridor. Where is it snowing right now? The snow is moving through Lucas County, and there are a few isolated snow flurries back in Indiana that have yet to roll in this evening. The steadiest snow is now headed right along the Maumee River towards Oregon and pushing out near Point Place. Millbury also going to get in on the action with this burst of snow. Major roadways are just going to be wet and should be smooth sailing. Looking at I-280, the visibility is a little lower than usual, though, because of the snowflakes coming down. Here's another look at a roadway, Central and McCord in Sylvania. Just some wetness on the roadway, not seeing any accumulation right now. This steady snow is stretching from Monroe and Luna Pier through the Toledo Metro, back over towards Fremont and into Seneca County. And looking to the west, some lighter snow showers near Fort Wayne and Kendallville that'll make their way into the Buckeye State. This is a very quick moving band of snow, and it's going to be history by about 7 to 8 o'clock p.m. tonight. Now, those snow showers could briefly reduce visibility in Fulton and Lenawee counties. Visibility has recently dropped down below 1 mile due to the snowflakes coming down steadily. Hour by hour forecast, dinner time plans. You will see snow right along the I-75 corridor by about 7 to 8. That snow is going to be gone. It'll quickly race off into eastern Ohio, and most of the evening is going to be dry. Be on the lookout for a few slick spots, especially those bridges and overpasses. Now, temperatures are actually going to warm up a little bit this evening and will be in the mid-30s, which should help those roads melt away by about 10 to midnight. Saturday, we get some dry weather back, 34 degrees. Mainly cloudy skies, and the wind is finally going to be calmer after that harsh winter breeze today. The winds are going to be down to 5 to 15 miles an hour out of the southwest for your Saturday. If you want a guaranteed dry day, Saturday's the day to get outdoors, perhaps a visit to your favorite metro park or taking the kids sledding or skiing. Sunday, though, brings us a burst of rain and snow showers, and this one's going to be a bit of a milder weather system. Let's time it out. Saturday staying dry. You'll notice Ohio's going to be dry, but central Michigan from the Thumb back towards Kalamazoo and the suburbs of Chicago seeing some snow. As we set the clock into motion, we are actually going to get a warm front that lifts to the north of the state line. That green shows you rain, and look at these chilly rain showers that'll move on through. Toledo's temperatures are going to be close to 40 degrees when you wake up Sunday morning, but they are going to drop by Sunday afternoon. Mainly a rainmaker, but could see a few flakes mixing on in as well. Once again, rain snow showers are likely on Sunday. We dry things out Monday, but a wintry chill rolls on through. High temperatures will be down in the 20s for the duration of that 10-day forecast, and we finally get a break from the wintry precipitation with an overall dry and cold stretch of weather. You'll also notice those overnight lows going to dip down to 10 degrees, if not a little colder, with our chilliest stretch of the season so far.
John, talk a little bit about these what we saw last night, late night, and then what you're watching right now as far as those flurries are concerned. And people, they need to be cautious, even though it's not a big storm.
Yeah, the temperatures are low
dicey,
too.
right?
Yeah, so what we saw last night is the snow that fell during the daytime, it just melted on impact. And the reason for that is the sun. Even though you can't see it up there, it actually helps melt the roadways. So right now we're seeing mostly wet conditions. But if this did continue after sunset, it would accumulate a little more readily. And again, those bridges and overpasses, they're colder than the roads. Yeah. So it gets that sticking snow a little quicker.
All right, John, thanks. And thanks for watching us here on WTOL 11+. We'll be back tonight at 11 with more news, weather, and of course, Big Board Friday highlights.
Join us then. Have a great night.